lucky enough to live locally in New Jersey, where the butcher shop is located, you really wouldn't have had access to this, except potentially for some of the best restaurants in the country or around the world, but you wouldn't even have known that this came from Rastelli's. This is your chance to bring something so beautiful into your home that we have never had on the air before, a premium bone-in pork roast. I was just saying to Ray, who started this brand 40 years ago, that this is beyond white tablecloth to me. This is like the golden tablecloth. This is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of roast that we have here.
It really is. It is so special. You know, this, you know, pork, the other white meat is just, it's so incredible when you start with the right types of hogs.
Right.
Right? And that's what we did. Just like when we talk about our Angus steaks, you just have to start with the right piece of beef. So here, we've started with a Duroc hog, which only eats vegetables. And there's a difference. And what happens with that is it gives you a tremendous amount of marbling. So we've taken the entire loin, which is typically...
So if we went to the store, we would see this and not know what to do with this big piece.
Yes, that's a 10 to 12 pound piece. And what we've done is we've taken just the center.
Okay.
And that's what this represents, just the center. The 4 bones, we've trimmed it completely out, so you're going to eat from one end to the other.
And it's been Frenched.
But it has been Frenched. So French means we've cleaned the bones all the way down. So when you put it on your plate and you cook it, you get this beautiful, elegant look right on that kitchen table.
And many people consider this to be the prime rib of the pork world.
That's really what this is. This is a prime rib of pork.
Okay.
And what really makes it prime, and I want to show you this, and I sliced this earlier just so you can see the inside of that piece of pork.
The marbling.
So you see the marbling inside of that piece of pork. That's what really creates the flavor profile, the tenderness, and the juiciness.
Can I tell you, I mean, you took these couple of slices off over here. I cannot believe how juicy this cutting board is right now. That's incredible. And so when we serve this, because this is 4 to 4.5 pounds, so first of all, how many servings can we potentially get?
So you can get as many as 10 to 12, depending on the thickness, but you can see how easy this slice is. Just one slice, and we're going straight through.
We don't need an electric knife.
No,
for
that's
this.
how tender. And look at the moisture inside this piece of pork. You know, we're used to our grandmother's pork. You know, it comes out of that oven and it sits, and before you know it, you kind of taste like cardboard because
it gets so dry.
Look at the moisture inside of this piece of pork that I just sliced. So the forgiveness is absolutely tremendous on it. But the flavor profile.
Can you? Here, I'll hold this.
Okay,
Can you cut me, or we'll lay it down?
We'll lay that way. I'm going to slice you a little piece off of here, Sharon.
You know
so
what? Actually, as I'm looking at this, there's a part of me that just wants to grab a piece of skin right off the top. That's always what I want to do. Is I want to grab a little crispy bit of the skin. Could you even cut that piece in half for me, please?
Absolutely would. So,
I need to take very delicate bites today.
So.
Thank you.
Because of that moisture that's in there, it's incredibly forgiving. It's not like any pork you've ever tasted before.
Okay, so first of all, I need to say, in terms of flavor, there is such a buttery, melt in your mouth quality to this that I'm sure if it wasn't so large, I bet you almost could have cut that with a fork.
You very well could.
There is such the same kind of way that with a filet mignon you get this sort of melt in your mouth tenderness. That's what this has. And so my big question to you is, because this probably looks intimidating to somebody at home who's watching right now, how does it arrive, and then how do we get it to here?
So it arrives as a full roast, just as you can see here, but it's obviously uncooked. So it comes vacuum packed, so that's going to stay in your freezer for 12 months. All you do is pull it out the night before.
So a day before is fine.
Day before is fine. Yeah, pull it out a day before, take it out of the vacuum package, and like I always say, let that piece of meat sit and rest to room temperature for about an hour. And then
instead of cooking it right from the refrigerator.
Never want to cook it right from the refrigerator. Let it rest for about an hour. Season it as you're letting it rest. And pork, you can add lots of flavors to pork, but my favorite is always, you know, a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of thyme,
That's classic.
It's classic, and you get a flavor profile. And you can see,
not only do you get a flavor profile, I want you to see this platter up here. You get this phenomenal looking platter. That is absolutely exquisite from stem to stern. And I need to mention there's a couple of ways you can do this. First of all, we have 2 ship dates. You can do this right now, but if you'd like to get it just on time for Easter, we do have an April 10th ship date. So you may ask about that. It's one of only a couple of foods in the show where we're doing that for you. Then we've got the 4 easy payments, which is fantastic at less than $20 a month to serve at least 10 people, which would be at the most $8 a serving, and it might get less depending on how many people you're serving this with. And then also you can lock it into auto delivery, which is rare for some of our newer food items. So if you want to do it on auto delivery, you get your first shipment now or in April, then another one in November of this year for Christmas time, and then your last one in March of 2018, just in time for Easter next year. Because when I think of springtime, I do start thinking, definitely I think pork for spring. Pork and lamb, I change my whole thought process.
Yeah, and you know, this is not just great in the oven, this is great on a rotisserie, it's great on the grill. And you mentioned fork tender. Look, this is cut an inch thick, and I can still take my fork.
See?
Right? I can take a fork
We're
and
not
just
kidding.
cut it with a fork. That's
For pork?
For pork. That's how delicate this pork is.
So I need to ask you one more time real quick. Temperature-wise,
So
we need to reiterate this temperature because most people cook their pork at too high of a temperature. Those are old rules. It's not necessary anymore.
Not necessary. You get your oven to 325 degrees. After this is rested, you put it into your oven. It's just going to take maybe an hour to an hour and a half, but I always recommend using a thermometer. Pull the pork out at 145. It will actually increase another 6-7 degrees, but 145 is max. That's what we have here, and you can see the
Do you
tenderness
believe this,
and
Dan?
juiciness.
This man knows. This man knows. How are you, Ray?
Dan, great to
There's a
see
smaller bite back over
You know
here.
what's amazing? The moisture of this. I mean, pork is always dried out, and as you guys have been talking, this is incredible.
This positively glistens
Yes.
and
Oh
my
melts,
God.
You can
melts
see that.
in your
I've
mouth.
never tasted
Yes.
pork like that. It melts in
Melts
your
in
mouth.
your mouth.
I'm going to go experience the melting.
Please experience that if you will. And also don't forget, this is brand new for us today. All that work has been done for you to French it to make it look absolutely stunning for your platter for your Easter dinner. But this is M54527. Your 4 easy pays will be going away at the end of the day. And don't be afraid to lock it in for future shipments in November and March of next year. Ray, you're not back today, but we're going to be seeing you later this week in one of our gourmet holiday shows. All right, we look forward to it. Oh my goodness, there's so many things on the table here to look at. Is it the croissants? Is that what we're going to be talking about? Oh, Mama Mancini's. Wait, where are they? They're back here. Meatballs. I love this size. These are the smaller ones, and so it's easier for you to portion out for your friends and family. These will be coming up in either your choice of the turkey or the beef, and they've been very, very popular in the past, especially if you want that smaller size. So Daniel Mancini will tell us more in just a few minutes. But right now, do we have a basket full of goodies?
We have a basket full of goodies. We've got bunny trail, we've got cherry berry, we've got cranberry milk, cashews. Oh my gosh, we got it all. And Christy Fletcher brings it to us from Germac.
Hi.
She is our Germac expert and has been for how long?
Oh, since